Good morning, my dear friends. It is great to be back with you again here today. It is really the calm before the storm here in Surfside, California. We are anticipating a lot of wind, some rain, but it's going to get very, very nasty. And of course, here in Surfside, California, we're sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach. We are worried about some of the houses here getting flooded. You can see there are all kinds of preparations being made for that eventuality or that possibility. Hopefully everything is going to be okay. Good morning, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Oh, that is glorious. What a way to start the day with a good hot cup of coffee. And I'm so happy so many of you do that with us. One guy that I know is doing it is a guy by the name of Dan Smith. Dan and Kim fame, and it's Dan's birthday today. He's a Patreon member. Dan, good morning to you, my friend. Happy birthday. Hoping you get out on the water before this storm and you have a really special and memorable day because you deserve it. All right, folks, we got a lot to cover with you. Before we get into it, can you hit that like button, please? It means so much to our success. We deeply appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share these videos. And as I mentioned, Dan's a Patreon member. That's the way we keep this content going. So if you go to www.patreon.com/Friedman Adventures for as little as $5 a month, you can support the show, get some swag, and help us produce more and more content so the channel, the Friedman Adventures channel, just continues to grow. That's our goal, and that's what we're working at. Speaking of that, tonight a live show with Brian Wynn. And Brian's a fishing expert, and man, I love Brian. I love his family. I love the stuff that he's doing in sport fishing with the Cigar Aficionados. We're going to talk fishing. You'll be able to ask any question you like, and I'll guarantee you Brian will come up with an answer. He is one fantastic guest, and I can't wait to see him. I am feeling much better. Thanks for all the nice notes that I got from everybody. I was pretty bad 2 days ago. Okay yesterday, and okay but much better today. So thanks everybody, I deeply appreciate it. Down in Cabo San Lucas, we're seeing a little bit more striped marlin down there, a few yellowfin and sierras on the beach with a few roosters. Starting to progress, starting to move toward that springtime bite. Cedros Island, nobody's down there tourist wise, but some of the pongeros are picking up some nice halibut, especially a few white sea bass, calico bass, and the yellowtail bite will be coming on before you know it. Royal Polaris on the long range scene having wonderful fishing. And guess who the best fisherman of the day was? The best fisherman, the guy who had the most, who did the best. A guy by the name of Frank LoPreste. And you'll see Frank in some of those photos, but he had a spectacular day. I believe he had 4 yellowfin tuna, 4 nice big yellowfin. The YFTs are really biting for the Royal. They're having spectacular fishing, and it just seems to get better and better and better. They've got glorious weather, wonderful fishing. They get a splash of wahoo in there every once in a while, but it's been steady on the yellowfin tuna. Nice grade too, and Frank's still doing it. That is great to see him out there having fun and doing his thing. Moving you back up the Baja Peninsula there around San Quintin area, we continue to see some good fishing on the bottom fish as well as some yo-yo iron yellowtail. But you know, that weather is going to get awful nasty here. I'll have more on the weather that you need to pay attention to because it's going to get very, very breezy and windy. Up there around Punta Colonette, the Relentless, well, they worked really, really hard. Dave Choate, he was out on a trip and he said they worked really hard to get some good rockfish on the boat. Current and everything was not great. So Mike, who runs the Relentless, had to work really, really hard to get the guys on fish. No sign of yellowtail around, but really, really decent rock fishing because the crew worked so hard because of some adverse conditions. Now, the weather was nice, but it was currents and everything else that made it difficult. So Mike and the Relentless, they worked and ran all over the bank and really worked hard to find some fish for everybody. So that is really great news. Down in Ensenada, another good day for blackfin sport fishing. They're located out there on Punta Banda. Victor is one of the guys who's responsible, or he's mostly responsible. But I'm talking about then you got Junior and Nacho and everybody else who makes that place so special. And they had some really great fishing down there on Bottom Grabbers. All you want, going home with a lot of great fish tacos. You get to sit around with the guys when you get back in and enjoy some sashimi. It's really a lot of fun fishing out of there. So good fishing to them. Arnie at Arnie's Sport Fishing, similar types of days for him with rockfish and some bonita around Putabanda if you want to do that. Calico bass also there, and some rockfish around Todos Santos Island. Same thing for my friend Diego Nuno. Good morning, Diego. Diego has had some good calico bass fishing along Punta That's a great place to make it happen. So some really good stuff going on in that neck of the woods. Up there in the San Diego area, remember we told you that some of the local boats extend their trips, get Mexican permits, go into Mexican waters where they are allowed to fish rockfish. And there's been some great days here recently. New Seaford yesterday, remember, with our dear friend Jolene Thompson. Had some great fishing, and guys are continuing that for the time being. Now, other boats that stay local have been picking off some sand and calico bass, along with sculpin and whitefish. Those species remain open until April 1st here in SoCal, so people will be able to do that. So, as you look behind me, I mean, that's a beautiful ocean. Maybe a little ominous with those clouds out there, but it's actually keeping the heat in, so it's not as cold of a morning as it has been. But it is literally the calm before the storm, because tonight around midnight, it's really going to start to blow. In fact, just around noontime, the wind's going to pick up, and then it's just going to kind of inch up until it gets to around midnight, and then it's going to be blowing, and it's going to be nasty. We're going to have some really nasty weather. No time to be out on the water. That is for sure, as things are going to get kind of nasty. And once again, here for the houses in Surfside, Seal Beach, we're hoping that it doesn't cause any flooding or anything like that. So before this, and you could sneak a day in today, if you are going to be on a half-day boat or something like that, I think you're going to get the day in. And there's been some good fishing. Over there at Berth 55, Long Beach Sport Fishing, Steve Phelps and his lovely wife, Shelly, were celebrating a late Valentine's Day with family and friends. And man, they had a lot of fun picking away at the sand and calico bass. They also had some fat sculpin. It was really a fun day. And Steve and Shelly, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you really enjoyed it. It looked like a great trip. Whenever you get together with a bunch of great people, you will have a great day. And it looks like that's exactly what they did. Really looked like a lot of fun. And other folks, you can see up there that we posted some other photos. Continuous City of Long Beach, up there out of Marina del Rey. They've had really good local wintertime sand and calico bass fishing. No question about that, as that bite has been continuing for them. Remember, it's a leadhead and squid or a sliding egg sinker and squid. You can go with a torpedo and a dropper loop. All those ways work. Now, most of the time it's going to be about a 2-ounce sinker, but sometimes wind and current dictate that you've got to go to heavier, so you might have to do that. And fluorocarbon is always a very good idea. Using some of the Opsin fluorocarbon, that's our favorite. www.opsinusa.com is a good way to get it done. Make sure you put in FA at checkout so that you get a hug and a kiss from owner Greg Brown at the PCS show. Speaking of the PCS show, Bill DePriest will be joining us this week. Make sure you keep your eyes open for that show. I believe that will be tomorrow evening at 6 or 7 o'clock, so I'll keep you informed about that. But Bill will be here, and that show just continues to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. It will be over there at the Orange County Fairgrounds at the 1st of March, so that's going to be a great one. And Brian Wynn, again, will be with us here this evening. That should be great. All right, folks, remember, stay safe, because it's really going to get nasty. And I'm not here hyping the weather like these local guys do every time you get a 1/4 of an inch of rain. I'm more concerned. I don't even care about the rain that much. I care about it as it helps with the snowpack and ultimately with the drought, even though we do need to update our reservoir system in this state. Don't get me started on that. But anyway, I'm more concerned about that wind and the heavy seas. When I talk about weather here on the Friedman Adventures channel, you may get wet, you may get rained on out there, but if I say the weather's good, it means we've got calm seas. When I talk about crappy weather, I'm talking about a lot of wind, very nasty seas, and it seems like we've got that pointed in our direction. Don't forget, become a Patreon member today and help us to continue, while I choke to death, to continue to produce all this great content for you. That's what our goal is. That's what we want to continue to do. That's what our intentions are. www.patreon.com/Friedman Adventures. $5 a day. It would mean a lot to me. Thanks, everybody. I'm wishing you a great day. Hopefully, you'll stay off of the water for the next days. How long is that weather going to last? Off and on through Saturday. We might get a calm day in there, but we're going to have some more blow. It'll get calm and then it'll blow up again. Pretty major storm rolling through the state of California, the West Coast in general. All right, my friends, have a great day. Take care, and I hope to see you really, really soon.